Your car just rolled past 100,000 miles. Maybe you're proud of it. Maybe you're a little nervous about it. Either way, this is the moment where most owners split into two groups. The first group treats 100,000 miles as a finish line. The car is old. It's going to start falling apart. Just drive it until something major breaks. The second group treats it as a checkpoint. There are specific things that need attention right now. And if you handle them, this car can easily go another 100,000 miles without a major failure. The data backs up the second group completely. According to Isacar's research, tracking hundreds of millions of vehicles, well-maintained cars routinely reach 200,000 miles and beyond. The difference between the car that makes it and the one that doesn't almost always comes down to what the owner did or didn't do around this exact mileage. Today I'm going to walk you through the 7 things that need to happen at 100,000 miles. Not vague suggestions. Specific, actionable services with real costs and real consequences if you skip them. Let's get into it. Number 1 is the most urgent item on this entire list. And if you only do one thing after watching this video, make it this one: the timing belt. Not every vehicle has one. Many modern engines use a timing chain instead, which is a metal component that generally lasts the life of the engine with proper oil maintenance. But if your vehicle has a rubber timing belt, and millions of American cars do, 100,000 miles is either right at or past the replacement interval for most manufacturers. Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Subaru, Hyundai, Kia, and many others have used timing belt designs extensively, and their replacement intervals typically fall between 60,000 and 105,000 miles, depending on the specific engine. Here's what the timing belt actually does. It synchronizes the rotation of the crankshaft and the camshaft, or camshafts, in multicam engines, so that the intake and exhaust valves open and close at precisely the right moments relative to the pistons. The entire combustion process depends on this synchronization happening correctly, thousands of times per minute, every minute the engine runs. The timing belt does this job silently and invisibly, and when it's working, you have no idea it's there. When it fails, you find out immediately and catastrophically. A timing belt doesn't warn you. It doesn't squeal. It doesn't make a noise that tells you it's about to go. It just breaks, and when it breaks, the crankshaft and camshaft go out of sync instantly. In an interference engine, which includes the majority of modern gasoline engines, the pistons and valves then occupy the same space at the same time. The result is bent valves, damaged pistons, and in severe cases, a destroyed engine block. Repair costs for a timing belt failure in an interference engine run from $3,000 to $8,000 or more, depending on the extent of the damage and the vehicle. The timing belt replacement itself, done preventively before failure, costs $500 to $900 on most vehicles, including labor. And here's the most important thing to do when you have it replaced. Replace the water pump at the same time. The water pump on most timing belt engines is driven by the timing belt itself and is located right next to it. Accessing either component requires the same disassembly. If you're paying labor to get to the timing belt, you're already 80% of the way to the water pump at that point. Water pump replacement adds $100 to $200 to the job in parts when done simultaneously. If the water pump fails separately after the timing belt job, you pay full labor costs all over again to access it. Do both at once. Every mechanic will tell you this. It's one of the most straightforward value decisions in all of vehicle maintenance. If you're not sure whether your engine has a timing belt or a timing chain, look it up by your specific year, make, model, and engine. It takes 30 seconds. If it has a timing belt and you don't know when it was last replaced, if you bought the car used and don't have maintenance records, treat it as overdue and get it done. The cost of replacing a belt that didn't strictly need it is $500 to $900. The cost of an engine destroyed by a failed belt is $3,000 to $8,000. That's not a close call. Number 2 is spark plugs. Most modern vehicles came from the factory with iridium or platinum spark plugs, which are rated for 60,000 to 100,000 miles, depending on the manufacturer. At 100,000 miles, those plugs are at or past their service life. And here's something most drivers don't fully appreciate. Worn spark plugs don't cause a dramatic, obvious symptom that tells you they're done. They degrade gradually. The electrode wears down. The gap increases beyond specification. Ignition becomes less consistent. The engine still runs. It just doesn't run as well as it should, and it's burning slightly more fuel than it should on every single trip. Worn spark plugs cause misfires, even incomplete combustion that sends unburned fuel through the exhaust system. That unburned fuel enters the catalytic converter, which then has to burn it. The catalytic converter was not designed to be a combustion device. Running consistently, misfiring plugs causes the converter to overheat and can damage it permanently. Catalytic converter replacement runs $800 to $1,500 or more on most vehicles. Spark plug replacement runs $120 to $200 for a 4-cylinder engine, $150 to $300 for a 6-cylinder. The math is not complicated. Replace your plugs at 100,000 miles, and you avoid both the fuel economy loss and the risk of converter damage. If you're buying a used vehicle with 100,000 miles on it and no service records, assume the plugs are original and need replacement. Number 3 is transmission fluid, and this is the service that separates the drivers who get 200,000 miles out of their transmission from the ones who face a $3,000 to $5,000 rebuild at 130,000. Your transmission is one of the most mechanically complex and expensive components in the entire vehicle. It contains hundreds of closely toleranced parts, clutch packs, valve bodies, solenoids, planetary gear sets, all operating in a bath of fluid that simultaneously lubricates, cools, and transmits hydraulic pressure throughout the system. That fluid is doing an enormous amount of work on every drive, and like engine oil, it breaks down over time and mileage. The friction modifier additives that allow clutch surfaces to engage smoothly deplete. The fluid oxidizes from heat exposure. Metal particles from normal wear accumulate in the fluid, making it progressively more abrasive. Most manufacturers specify transmission fluid changes somewhere between 30,000 and 60,000 miles. At 100,000 miles, the fluid has either been changed once and is due again, or, in far too many vehicles, it has never been changed and is severely degraded. Dark brown or black transmission fluid with a burnt smell is fluid that's been in service well past its useful life. Running degraded transmission fluid causes accelerated wear on clutch surfaces and internal components that are expensive and labor-intensive to repair. A transmission fluid service at a shop costs $75 to $150 for most vehicles. A transmission rebuild or replacement costs $3,000 to $7,000. If you've hit 100,000 miles and don't have documentation of a transmission fluid change in the last 50,000 miles, this service should be on your list now. One important note on this: if your transmission fluid is very dark and has never been changed, there's a specific reason to have a shop do this, rather than just doing a simple drain and fill yourself. In a neglected transmission, the degraded fluid and accumulated debris have actually become part of the operating environment. A complete fluid flush in a significantly neglected transmission can sometimes cause issues, because the fresh fluid's detergents begin cleaning deposits off surfaces that the old fluid had essentially been holding in place. A qualified transmission shop can assess the condition of the fluid and advise on the right approach for your specific situation. This is one case where professional evaluation is worth the conversation. Number 4 is the cooling system. Specifically, a full coolant flush. Coolant is often the most neglected fluid in the entire vehicle, because the car can run for a long time on old coolant without an obvious immediate problem. The temperature gauge stays normal. The engine doesn't overheat. Everything seems fine. But here's what's happening under the surface. Coolant contains corrosion inhibitors, chemical additives that protect the metal surfaces inside the cooling system from oxidation and electrochemical corrosion. Those inhibitors deplete over time as they're consumed doing their job. Old coolant with depleted inhibitors is still liquid. It still flows, and it still absorbs some heat. But it's no longer protecting the aluminum surfaces of your engine block and cylinder head, the inside of your radiator, your heater core, or your water pump from corrosion. Over tens of thousands of miles, this corrosion builds up inside the cooling system in ways you can't see from the outside. The radiator develops internal buildup that restricts flow and reduces cooling efficiency. The water pump impeller corrodes and loses efficiency. The heater core develops deposits. And eventually these accumulated problems contribute to overheating events, water pump failures, and radiator failures, all of which are expensive repairs. The coolant flush itself runs $100 to $150 at a shop, and is one of the simplest and most cost-effective services on this entire list. While you're doing it, have the shop inspect the upper and lower radiator hoses. Rubber hoses degrade from the inside out. They can look perfectly fine externally, while being close to collapse internally. Squeeze a cold hose and it should feel firm. Spongy, soft, or cracked hoses need replacement. At 100,000 miles, these hoses are old enough that proactive replacement is worth considering, even if they pass a visual inspection. Number 5 is brake fluid, and this one surprises most drivers, because they think brake pads and rotors are the only brake maintenance that matters. Here's the reality. Brake fluid is hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture from the atmosphere over time through the rubber seals and hoses in the brake system. This is a slow, continuous process that happens regardless of how often or how hard you use the brakes. As brake fluid absorbs moisture, its boiling point drops. Fresh. 3 Brake fluid has a dry boiling point around 401 degrees Fahrenheit. Fluid that has absorbed 3 to 4% water, which can happen in as little as 2 to 3 years, has a wet boiling point that drops significantly. Under hard braking, brake fluid temperatures can reach 300 degrees or more. Fluid with degraded boiling resistance can partially vaporize under those conditions, creating gas bubbles in the hydraulic lines. Gas is compressible. Hydraulic fluid is not. When you have gas bubbles in your brake lines, you get a soft, spongy pedal, reduced braking effectiveness at the moment you need it most. Beyond the safety implications, moisture in brake fluid causes corrosion inside the calipers, wheel cylinders, and master cylinder. This corrosion builds up over years and eventually causes these components to seize or leak. Replacing corroded brake calipers runs $150 to $400 per corner. A brake fluid flush runs $75 to $100 at 100,000 miles. If you don't have documentation of a brake fluid change in the last 3 to 4 years, this service should be on your list. It's inexpensive insurance for both your safety and your brake system's longevity. Number 6 is the belts and hoses beyond the timing belt. Your vehicle has a serpentine belt, or, in older vehicles, multiple drive belts that runs the alternator, power steering pump, air conditioning compressor, and water pump off the engine. At 100,000 miles, this belt is old. Rubber degrades with heat cycling, ozone exposure, and simple age. A serpentine belt can look visually acceptable while being close to the end of its service life. Most manufacturers recommend inspecting the serpentine belt every 60,000 to 100,000 miles and replacing it proactively around that interval. Serpentine belt replacement costs $75 to $150 in parts and labor on most vehicles. When a serpentine belt fails while driving, you lose the alternator, the power steering, and in many cases, the water pump simultaneously. The car will overheat, the battery will drain, and you'll be stranded. This is a $100 preventive repair that avoids a roadside emergency and potential overheating damage. While a mechanic is looking at your belts, have them look at all rubber hoses throughout the engine bay, not just the coolant hoses we mentioned earlier, but fuel hoses, vacuum hoses, and power steering hoses if equipped. Rubber hardens, cracks, and develops leaks over time. A cracked vacuum hose causes rough, idle, and poor engine performance. A leaking power steering hose makes a mess and eventually leads to power steering failure. A fuel hose with even a minor leak is a fire hazard. Visual inspection of all hoses at 100,000 miles, with replacement of anything that looks questionable, is a straightforward and inexpensive way to prevent the kind of failures that leave you stranded or create bigger problems. Number 7 is something that most drivers think of as optional but is genuinely worth doing at 100,000 miles. Switching to a high-mileage oil formulation. High-mileage oils are specifically formulated for engines with 75,000 miles or more and are different from standard synthetic oil in one important way. They contain seal conditioners. These are chemical additives designed to help rejuvenate and re-swell the rubber seals and gaskets throughout the engine, the valve stem seals, the rear main seal, and the various gaskets that keep oil where it belongs. Over 100,000 miles, these seals harden and shrink slightly from heat exposure and age. This is why high-mileage vehicles often develop small oil seeps that weren't there at 50,000 miles. The seal conditioners in high-mileage oil don't fix seals that have already failed, but for seals that are in the early stages of hardening, they can reduce or eliminate minor seepage. High-mileage oils from brands like Mobil 1, high-mileage Castrol, GTX, high-mileage Pennzoil, high-mileage, and Valvoline Max Life are legitimate products with documented seal conditioning benefits. They typically cost $2 to $5 more per quart than standard synthetic. At an oil change that uses 5 quarts, that's $10 to $25 more per oil change. A trivial investment compared to what it can prevent. A rear main seal replacement, for example, runs $400 to $1,200 depending on the vehicle because of the labor involved in accessing the back of the engine. If a high-mileage oil can slow the progression of seal hardening and delay or prevent that repair, the math is extremely one-sided. According to Carfax data, a well-maintained vehicle is worth approximately $2,000 more at resale than a comparable, neglected vehicle. The 100,000-mile service is one of the highest return maintenance investments you can make in your vehicle. Here's the complete picture of what 100,000 miles actually means for your car. It means the timing belt, if you have one, is at or past the replacement interval and needs to be addressed before it fails without warning. It means the spark plugs are due, and worn plugs are costing you fuel economy and risking catalytic converter damage every mile. It means the transmission fluid has been working hard for a long time and needs to be evaluated and likely replaced. It means the coolant's corrosion inhibitors are depleted, and the cooling system needs a flush to protect it for the next 100,000 miles. It means the brake fluid has absorbed enough moisture over the years to warrant replacement, both for safety and system protection. It means the rubber components, belts, hoses, are old enough that proactive inspection, and likely replacement, is the right call. And it means the engine seals have enough miles on them that switching to a high-mileage oil formulation is a genuinely useful investment. None of these services are optional suggestions. They're the difference between a car that keeps going reliably and one that starts having expensive, unexpected failures. The total cost of all 7 services varies depending on your vehicle and what's actually needed, but a comprehensive 100,000-mile service typically runs $500 to $1,200 at a reputable, independent shop. Less, if some items were done recently and aren't actually due. Compare that to a single timing belt failure, destroying your engine at $5,000 to $8,000. Or a transmission rebuild at $4,000. Or a coolant system failure that warps a cylinder head at $2,000 to $3,000. The 100,000-mile service is not an expense. It's a protection strategy for one of your most valuable assets. If your car is approaching or just hit 100,000 miles, start by pulling out your maintenance records and figuring out which of these services have been done and when. If you bought the car used without complete records, assume the ones you can't document are overdue and get them evaluated. Find a shop you trust, bring this list, and have an honest conversation about what your specific vehicle actually needs right now. A good mechanic will tell you what's genuinely due and what can wait, not try to sell you everything at once. If this helped you understand what your car needs at this milestone, hit the like button. Drop a comment and tell me how many miles are on your car right now, and whether you've done the 100K service. I read every comment. Subscribe for more practical, honest car information with no products to push and no exaggeration. A lot more is coming.